Hello everybody, welcome back to 10-Minute Reviews. I'm Jason. The fuzzy one that's over here panting like she just ran a marathon is Freya, and we're bringing you today's video. So as always guys, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. Again, we're a small little family channel, just trying to have fun. We love books, and it's what we want to talk about. We want to bring more books and more authors to you guys, which is why we usually talk about lesser known authors. So please hit those like and subscribe buttons. So for today I want to talk about book 2 of a series that I came across not too long ago that was pretty awesome. As always, I'll talk about 4 things: the world, this will be a little bit quicker because I've already talked about it; the characters, which again is going to be a little bit quicker because I already talked about it; the plot, and the writing style. And I'm going to try and put a link down below, if I can remember. I'm going to put a link down below, so if you guys want to check out the book, by all means, check it out. So I want to talk about Unorthodox Farming number 2 by Benjamin Kerei and Ellen Clouden. The title of the book is super long, so I'm just going with the name of the series. So, Unorthodox Farming 2. Absolutely fantastic, guys. I cannot recommend this book and this series enough to you guys. So, the world, as I talked about before, it's your typical swords and sorcery lit RPG world. So, you've got your elves, you've got your dwarves, you've got your giants, and of course, you got your people. You got your character screen that pops up. You've got your stats, your character class, your levels, and again, the world is extremely well written, very fleshed out. The authors did a great job creating this world. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. They don't have any spots where the logic bumps into itself. It's pretty awesome, and just the kingdom they've managed to build, and the laws behind it, stuff like that. It's all well thought out. It all holds together very well. The main character is Albert and his familiar Salem. And Albert is an incarnate, so a human that was brought to Earth. Now, unfortunately, when they were brought from Earth to this planet, they were killed on Earth, which was rather traumatic for him. Now, Albert was a semi-pro gamer whose specialty was finding exploits in games. He was basically a strategist. In fact, he had turned down a lot of, and it's revealed in this book that he had turned down a lot of offers from professional gaming groups to come work for them, because and those job offers were as a strategist, not as a player, because that was his specialty. So picking up from book 1, his strategy with his trap barns and his trap farm and gaining experience via traps instead of farming, he has now expanded it. He managed to capture a giant at the end of book 1. He has no idea how to kill it. It's basically unkillable. He's managed to capture a giant. He owns most of the town of Blackwood. He has managed to do a number of things. He's managed to keep his friends in charge of the town, although it's now his friend's daughter that's the noble in charge of the town. He's managed to bring some scholars into the town, which of course raises the town's stats and raises the town's abilities when they've got, scholarly buildings and stuff like that. Of course, they offer buffs to the town. So he's managed to really grow the town. He's also gotten more property around the town, laid it out with more traps and trap barns. He's got trap barns everywhere. He's got employees working for him. His farm is actually doing great. He's got heritage seeds that he planted that's making like legendary fruits, and he's got farmers now working underneath him. And this is all continuing. Now, the primary goal in book 2 is to kill the frickin' giant. Now, of course, there's some political machinations going on around him and behind him and against him that he has to try and deal with as well. But his core group is growing, and growing stronger. They're growing cleverer, they're growing stronger, and more importantly, they're growing richer, especially him. Money does a lot, and he has enough money to do a lot, except kill this frickin' giant. So he put out a quest asking for people to how to kill the giant. But the caveat is that he needs to be the one that kills it. He refuses to let the Adventurers Guild in to kill it. Since he captured it, he already got great and amazing experience from capturing it, and that's where most of his wealth comes from, is selling experience. But now he needs to kill the frickin' thing, because he knows this is going to be a stupid amount of experience. So that's the main thrust of the second book. What gets fascinating is now dwarves get introduced. Dwarves get introduced, but these are not your friendly Gimlis. These are psychopathic murder midgets. They're just absolutely insane and just murder, 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 especially humans. They cannot stand humans. They just want to kill them. Kill, 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 kill. Like I said, murder midgets, bearded murder midgets. That's what show up in this book. However, they think they might have a way to kill this giant. So he kind of gets suckered into accepting it. So they come out. So this dwarven group comes out, and they start working. First, they need to construct what they need, the forge basically, to create the weapon, and then he will be able to use that weapon. Now, of course, he has, now he's got a bunch of bearded murder midgets right outside his town, so that leads to a lot of drama. Plus, they bring a champion in, which is basically a god level warrior class. Although through some interesting events that almost kill Albert, this champion has agreed to shield the humans from the rest of the dwarves, which of course gives him a few issues as well. I mean, he's got to thump up on his own people to help defend people he doesn't even like. So that gets interesting. And again, there's a lot of political stuff going on the sides. Plus, there's actually a lot of farming. Albert does actually get sucked into it because in order to get certain benefits and boosts that he needs for the town, and in order to grow his own wealth and stuff like that, he needs to do certain things. So when he crosses thresholds, he has the experience to make it to the level 100 that he needs. But he has to cross these thresholds, and if he does it certain ways, he's going to get different boons, different abilities for crossing the threshold. So he wants to do, he needs to do it in certain ways just for the benefit of not just himself, but everybody else. And this selfish Albert that just started this because he just doesn't want to be a farmer. He hates farming. Now his motivations are starting to change. He still doesn't like farming. He still doesn't want to be a farmer. But he does on occasion farm just because he needs to in order to get some of these abilities, not for himself, but because he's starting to get to the point. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read Super Sale and Superheroes, but Felix ends up having to make a lot of decisions that are entirely based around how many people he is responsible for. That's where Albert's starting to get. His farm and his business around this town and this town itself are growing to the point that he has so many people working for him, so many people counting on him, so many people he's trying to help, that he wants to make sure he does it right. So, and by doing it right means he needs to do things he freaking hates, like farming. So, I'm not going to give away how it goes with him trying to kill the dragon. Although there's some absolutely hilarious sequences in there while they're attempting some of the earlier ideas. Even one character even tries to even suggest basically Indiana Jonesing them and a ramp with a giant rock. Just absolutely hilarious. Now, again, I cannot recommend this book enough. It was so fascinating, so much fun. And just like the first book, it does end with a major change for Albert. The first time around, the major change was he captured the giant. That was huge. Captured the giant, got all this experience. This time around, there's an even bigger change, and he's already come to the attention of the king. Now he comes to the attention of the king even more. And some major, major, major things occur along with some decisions he makes. So I'm very curious to see how this ends up going in book 3, which I cannot wait for. So the writing style, just like before, it's really humorous, full of pop culture references, while at the same time just being a fascinating fantasy book. You will not be able to put this down. If you start reading the Unorthodox Farming series, you will not be able to put them down until you finish them. They are absolutely amazing. Some of the best books I've read in this year. Some of the best books I've read this year. So after you hit those like and subscribe buttons, guys, please go check out Unorthodox Farming 2. If I can remember to, I'm going to put a link down below for the books. We will catch you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye now.